What's happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fresh Hop Butcher drop just loaded into Northern Michigan distribution. So we have a brand new one from Hop Butcher that I've never seen before. This is going to be Cali Cool. Again, I've never seen it. I'm excited to try this one with you, and I have some different observations I've noticed here. We have a 7%er brewed with Citra, Centennial, and Waimea hops? Waimea? I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm not familiar with that hop profile. At least I am with the Citra and Centennial, but also 7%. Usually Hop Butcher does the standard 7.5%, so it's a little bit lower than their typical. That's kind of different. Tasting notes of juicy lemon, light pine, and ripe mango. And actually pretty darn fresh, 8/14/24, and today is the 28th time of recording, so this is pretty awesome, guys. I love Hop Butcher, and they show me some love online sometimes, and actually Untapped reached out to me on my Instagram account, and they used one of my Hop Butcher photos, and then they posted it and talked about Hop Butcher on their profile. It has a huge following, Untapped. I think it was like almost 200,000 followers on Instagram, so they kind of gave me a shout out. Hop Butcher reached out like, thanks for taking pictures of our beer, so we kind of chat back and forth. So shout out to Untapped and shout out to Hop Butcher for always being real friendly with me. So you guys are awesome. Let's give this beer a go, guys. Again, I've never seen it, and it's pretty darn fresh time of recording. So let's see what we're working with today. I'm off. Well, I guess I'm off. I worked a little bit earlier, but it never stops. The grind never stops, guys. Got some good things coming for you guys in the future. I'll be talking to you about it very soon. So we are not as hazy as normal. We are completely almost clear. There's a little bit of opaqueness here, but not a ton, actually. This is not exactly what I was expecting, but I don't know, 7%. Is this going to be more of a Mid-American, Midwest IPA? I don't know. Let's go to an aroma. It smells really good still. It smells like a Midwest IPA. Giving me like Two Heart vibes, but not as malty. So that zesty kind of tropical and grapefruit. Nice pine presence with, again, there is definitely like a sweet tropical note on there, whether it's pineapple, apricots, which would be stone fruit, or mango is to be debated, but there is this nice little firm sweetness coming from tropical fruits. Definitely like a grassy pine herbaceousness, kind of kissing the floral and kissing the tropical note there. And I don't know, there's just like this zesty, whether it be tangerine, grapefruit, or lemon, it's kind of just a culmination of all those three. But definitely in there and deep into the recipe, you can get it ingrained into your nose. You can smell it pretty firmly. There's definitely like a sweeter, maltier note under there too. So is it going to be a maltier Midwest? Up for debate, but definitely not your typical recipe here coming from Hop Butcher, and not your typical appearance. So guys, Cali Cool. Maybe I understand why they might be calling this Cali Cool. Maybe it's a West Coast IPA. I don't know. Does it say that on the can? It just says IPA. So maybe that's going to be up to us to decide. So cheers Hop Butcher, and cheers M4 Distribution and Jason, Hop Warden of the North. Wouldn't be able to get these awesome beers without you, sir. So cheers. Yeah, I mean, it's giving me West Coast malt vibes, and then it's giving me Midwest IPA vibes kind of put together into one. So it's got a little bit of both. I would say it's leaning more towards a Midwest IPA. It's not as malty as maybe a Two Hearted. It's not as bitter as a West Coast IPA, so it's certainly very much more drinkable when it comes to the hoppy level. But it's pretty smooth, actually, with beautiful notes of sweet pine, sweet honey, a little bit of herbaceous, floral, zesty citrus. And then you are getting, again, some sort of sweet, whether it be mango or pineapple note that does really hang on the back end, blending into the pine and slight bitterness. Really solid, actually. Not super dry, but it's definitely dry. And there's, again, that maltier sweetness that comes through. This speaks to me. I like this. I feel like anybody in Michigan would like a beer like this. It's very up our alley, and I feel like it brings exactly what it says to the table, except for the Waimea hops. I really don't know what those are or what they entail, but let's go back in. I'm getting more of like the zestier, drier, like lemon skin on the back end. Actually, they say what juicy lemon. I'm getting a little bit in the front with the zestiness of the grapefruit, maybe the tangerine, and then there's some sort of like bitterness and a slight bit of pine that blends into that lemon being a little bit more pithy, a little bit more skin dry fruit on the back end. So it finishes very nice, actually. Again, it feels West Coasty for a moment, but it's not as hoppy as a West Coast IPA by any means. I guess I'm stupid. It says light pine, so that feels fitting. I feel like this is a pretty good description. There's a lot of good stuff going on in here. I feel like it's a very good overall drinker for 7%. Maybe, again, not as hoppy as some of your other West Coast beers in that category, or in that field. This one comes off a little bit smoother, just a little bit lighter, which could really be good for drinkability at the end of the day. If you like absolutely love a hop ripper IPA, you might not like this as much, but it's coming from Hop Butcher, so we usually don't get that insane bitterness affiliated with Hop Butcher, but I like that they've branched out and ventured out into a little bit different recipe here, something you don't see from them every day. A very good sipper nonetheless. Maybe a slight bit of dankness in there too. A little diesely dank, blending into this light pine presence. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. I feel like let's not make it too complicated. I've given you what I think is brought to the table here, at least with my notes and my opinions. And it's a good beer. Is it the greatest Hop Butcher beer you've ever had in your life? Probably not, but you guys all expect it to be New England style dippas and tippas and trippas and zippas and mippas and whatever you want to call it. Today it's just a nice smooth sipper at 7%, a little bit away from the hazy category, if you will. So rating, it's a good beer. I would drink it again, and maybe some people get bored coming from Hop Butcher, but I like the diversity. I love the different recipe here. Not gonna blow you away. It's good though. It is good. I'm gonna go with a 3.93 out of 5 to be oddly specific. 3.93 out of 5. Cali cool guys from Hop Butcher. Again, thank you so much. Shout out to Hop Butcher. Shout out to M4, and shout out to all you craft beer lovers out there. It's Poor Michigan Reviews. Cheers.